up, you beautiful bastards? I haven't watched a Philip DeFranco video in years. I don't know whether that's still what he says. Hey everybody, it's Bill Black. Hope you're having a good day. Last Sunday's video I recorded before the Google form went public, or before I uploaded my first video back. And I just want to say, now that I've seen all of the feedback firsthand, I want to thank you all so sincerely. And before we get going, if you haven't subscribed, you might want to do that. You might want to click the little red button, turn it gray, just like everything else in my life. I'm a dog, I don't see color. Thought I'd start this one off with a few easy questions, and then we're gonna dive into the meat real soon. First off, a few of you asked about the murder mystery I talked about in my return video. Back in 2018, I finished this web series about our college that slowly devolves into this murder mystery. I would love to show you guys that, because I am very proud of it, but it would require doxing myself, so I probably won't be showing that to you yet, but maybe in the future I'll make some sub-goal for me to release all my old short films and do a face reveal. Let's say 100K. At 100K, you can see the murder mystery. Will this new content affect you voicing Jay Schlatt on the Dream SMP Animated Series? That was my cat, if you heard him in the background. No, I'm still doing that, and I've been thinking about doing an update video just on the Dream SMP Animated Series sometime in the future, so that may happen. Another easy one, any musicians, bands you recommend? I'm trying to have a bit of a change in my music taste. Ba-ba-boom! Everything you see on the screen are some of my favorite songs from the last 2 years, and some weird ones that I just threw in there in case you're really wanting to spice things up. All right, let's get to the meat of this video. Recently, I've discovered something about myself that I really hate. I hate lies. The reason I hate this part of me right now is that I've been telling the same bad lie to people close to me for a long time now. I feel like a hypocrite, and I hate it. I hate me. I'm genuinely interested in knowing how other people deal with them. I'm a very diffident person, so talking about these things usually makes me uncomfortable, but I feel like it's easier to speak through this question. An escape that can ease the weight in my mind. Out of all the questions I got from the first chunk that I saw, this one caught my attention immediately. Because even though I got a lot of questions about school and about procrastination and motivation, this weirdly seemed to be the most universal one to me. Not that everyone talked about this, but I can't think of a single person in my life who hasn't grappled with a lie they've been telling, including me. We all have this issue in some way or another. Either you're telling a small string of lies to make your day sound more interesting to your parents when you're coming home, or you're altering things in a story to make something a half-truth to hyperbolize when you're talking to your friends. And I've lied a lot in my life. It's just something you do. It's a crutch. And I've been in the situation where I've told maybe person A this truth and person B another truth, and I have to try and keep my story straight for different people. When in reality, I'm really just kind of building a box around myself, needlessly. But let's get back to you. Obviously, I don't know what this lie is, and I don't know what repercussions it would have on your family and friends if you think you told the truth. Maybe you think it genuinely would make their lives worse, or it would change their perception of you irrevocably. And I think when you get caught up in a lie like that, it does feed your self-hatred. You hate these things that you're saying to people you care about, and it eats away at your self-image until you feel like you aren't worth shit. But something I've seen in a lot of these submissions that have dealt with depression and anxiety is that there's this kind of fucked up energy that comes with breaking down your view of yourself. It almost feels reassuring to at least know that you're a piece of shit. And then if you know you're a piece of shit, you're going to continue to tell the lies because that's what a piece of shit would do. It's a damn near impossible cycle to break when you really get caught up in it like that. Especially because once you're caught up in that cycle, even if a part of you wants to help yourself get out of this 6-foot hole you've dug yourself, you still feel awful, so you don't feel like you're worth that kind of treatment. And granted, again, I don't know what your lie is, but the only way that I've been able to get out of these kind of situations, for the most part, is, as cheesy as it sounds, to try and find acceptance. Not acceptance that I'm a piece of shit, because that's the voice that's feeding that energy that's perpetuating this cycle, but acceptance in taking a step back and acknowledging, yeah, I've hurt people. Maybe even without them knowing, I've played with breaking this form of trust I have with another person. And you'll make those mistakes throughout your life, and some people never learn from them, and those are the worst kind of people. But if you're able to, even for a day, when you're not feeling as bad as you usually feel, take a step back and try and accept yourself as an imperfect person, which is what you are. There's not a single person on this planet that's perfect. That stops feeding the voice, which stops, even for a second, feeding your self-hatred. And when you're in a moment like that, try and make an honest-to-God pact with yourself. Start by finding 1 or 2 people in your life. People either you've lied to or you know you'll run the risk of perpetuating this lie to in the future. See them as a person worth your time, worth your trust, people you genuinely care about. And you swear to yourself that even if it's a tiny lie, hyperbolizing your day, that you will not tell them a single lie going forward. And you use them kind of as a case study for your own behavior. You just talk to them. Because as nice as it would be to be able to just say, you know, the best thing to do is just rip the Band-Aid off and tell them the truth, sometimes when you're coming out of a place like this, That's the hardest thing to try and do. And sometimes, as awful as it sounds, you need to be in a better place so that you know that you're giving the person who you've lied to the response that they deserve. I lied for so many years in college, little ones, but to the point where it was just instinct. And when I kind of hit a wall with how much I was willing to stretch the truth in a fleeting moment of clarity, I thought about someone who I really cared about, and I made that promise. And for as long as I've talked to them, I haven't told them a single lie. And granted, I still hyperbolize stories at work, but my general impulse is no longer to perpetuate fibbing. I know that's kind of a convoluted answer, but when you're in a mental state this 6 layers deep, it's really hard to know how to get yourself out of it. And it is a process. Working on yourself never happens overnight. So sincerely, I wish you the best, and I hope that did some good. And let's do one more before I leave you. I'm editing a fight scene for a movie, so the heads are replaced with ones of YouTuber skins, and I very grossly underestimated the work. So I feel burnt out, and I have only 1/4 of it done. I don't know how to motivate myself. I really like this question because I am so bad at continuing working on a project, even if I care about it, and not just switching over to a new tab and watching YouTube videos. The best 2 things I can recommend for editing aren't necessarily about motivating yourself, but finding ways to cut out distractions and to keep your mental state afloat. The best advice I've ever gotten about pacing yourself while editing is how goddamn imperative it is to take breaks. You're not aware of it while you're working on it, but if you're just perpetually staring at a computer screen for too long, you'll die. That's hyperbolization. Hey, it's like the last question. But the best thing I was ever advised to do is either set a timer or be cognizant of editing for roughly 20 minutes. That's not a long time. That's manageable. At 20 minutes, even if you feel like you're in a groove and you can make that last stretch, get up out of your chair, find a window nearby, and just stare out of it. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, let your pupils adjust, and just look outside for a minute or 2. Even if you feel like you're itching to get back to it, just wait. Because you need to pace yourself to be an effective editor, and you need to keep yourself from getting tunnel vision. The only other thing I would recommend, which doesn't apply to everybody's scenario, but if you can do this, then absolutely try. Try editing in a place where there's no Wi-Fi. Or try and have the internal strength to turn your Wi-Fi off. Because I don't know about you, but for me the biggest difficulty about editing for a long period of time is I'll edit productively for an hour and think, oh, that's great, I can take a break. And then a 5-minute break becomes me taking a 5-hour break of watching Puppet History. But if I know I have maybe 3 hours of keyframing in front of me, I'll either go to a place that has no Wi-Fi or turn the Wi-Fi off, and I will just try and plow through it. Granted, with breaks. Stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, pray that you can get done on time, and then get back to it. And that's about all I got for this week. Oh, some of you asked what the server I was playing on for the opening video was. It's not a server, it's a downloadable single-player 1.17.1 Elytra map. It's the same one I'm on for this video. I'll put the name of it in the description, and you can look it up and play it if you want. And I'll also say one last thing. Oh, what was it? Oh, fuck, did I forget? Oh, Jesus. Oh, what was it? Fuck, what was it? I was saying like... Well, if I think about it, I'll tell you next week. I think that's it. Bye!